What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode
What
of
up?
the Niner Boys podcast. I am joined with my guys, Brandon and Pete. Gentlemen, how are we doing today? We'll start with you, Pete.
I'm good, Beto. Another day, but we're getting closer and closer to the last day of preseason, and we're getting a clearer vision of who's going to make this roster and who's not. So let's get into it.
Let's go. Brandon, how you doing, sir? We missed you last week. Glad to have you back, brother.
We're back. We're back, man. Doing well. Happy Tuesday. Um, it's Raiders week this week, so looking forward to that, and looking forward to the 53-man roster finalized next week.
Heck, it's Trader Week this week. We're going to play against the Las Vegas Traders. We have a lot of things to talk about, but before we go on, let's go ahead and acknowledge the All-Stars. Those are in the chat. Let's start off with Mr. Numero Uno, Niners Throwback Announce. What's up, brother?
What up, throwback?
So make sure
What's up,
y'all
throwback?
to smash that button and subscribe. Hope everyone had a good day. Welcome. We got my boy Jimmy in the house. What's up, Jimmy? Oh my God. Dawn's gonna kill me. Yep.
You forgot her birthday.
No, more importantly, I forgot her daughter's birthday. Oh, Dawn, please forgive me. I was supposed to do
Hello,
a video just for her and send it to her. And oops. God, I forgot. I'm so sorry, Dawn. But Dawn, welcome to the show. And the reason why I remember because Jimmy just put on a happy late birthday. I am so sorry, Dawn. Please forgive me. I am in big trouble. So if I go missing in the middle of the show, Dawn came over and visited me. Took me out. Happy belated birthday to your daughter. My 100, man, I feel terrible. What a way to start the show. What a way to start a show. Yesterday was hectic, no excuse. It is what it is. So once again, my apologies to Ariel and Don for totally dropping the ball. It was completely on me. So let me give me one of these to myself. That's totally me. So gentlemen, some good, some bad, some ugly. Let's start off with talking about the game that took place against who did we play? I don't pay attention too much to preseason. Who did we beat? The Aints.
Yeah,
That's right, because they're Aints. So we played the Aints. There were some good notes that I took. I'm going to get your guys' thought. Let's start off with the number 4th round pick receiver. Not Ricky Parcell, but Mr. Jacob Cowing. He's been dealing with a hamstring. He was able to practice last week, and he made his debut against the Saints this past Sunday. I want to get you guys' thoughts. We'll start with you, Brandon. What are your thoughts of the kid? And then we'll follow up with Pete's thoughts.
So the guy looked freaking phenomenal on Sunday. And I think he's going to be a great deep threat too, as well. Let me see here. Pulling up the stats real quick. He went, let's see, rushing. Okay. He got, received 4 touches for 51 yards. Almost went for a touchdown on that deep throw from Dobbs in the first half, but he has looked phenomenal. He has the speed too, on top of that. And throwback, what's up, man? And I'm looking forward to seeing him in the regular season for sure. I think he might be a number 4 guy, but just be careful because this is what Danny Gray was supposed to be when we drafted him. So watch out for Counting, man. That guy's a stud for sure.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't turn into a Danny Gray and continues to
Yeah.
do his thing. Yeah, I like what I saw from the kid. But before I go on, let's go ahead and get Pete's thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he looked. I think is kind of my word to describe. Best word I can think of to describe him. Like good routes. Um, I mean, one on the outside. Like he wasn't really in the slot. They had him on the outside. So that for his size, for a guy his size to be winning with speed and to still get off the line, I loved it. I loved it. For him to catch that ball along the sideline, honestly, it would have been a touch. The ball the deep pass that he caught would have been a touchdown if they had thrown it if Dobbs had thrown it in front of him. And
Facts.
yeah,
Facts.
I think he was. It's a breath of fresh air, but I think he could really. I think the versatility, the fact that he looked good on the outside, is only going to make him look even better when they actually put him in the slot, which I think is probably where he's naturally going to be. But the speed is undeniable. The crispness of the routes is undeniable. And he just looked, compared to all the other receivers the 49ers had out there, he was the one that looked different. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see more from him.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I'm excited to hear and see more about this kid. He was impressive, great debut. He was able to get the ball. That long throw to the right was set up that touchdown by Dobbs. Was a beautiful throw by Josh Dobbs and a beautiful catch by Jacob Cowan. And this isn't his first debut. I would like to continue to see what he can do against the Las Vegas Traders this Friday. But this kid looked promising. And like Brandon said, he might start this. He might start this week, and I mean this week on week 1. And Brandon, you threw me off with that text, bro. Stop it. Anyway, he looks exciting. Let's talk about real
What up,
quick.
Bashar?
49er minded is in the house. What's up, Bashar? Welcome to La Casa Sickness
What's up, Bash?
and the guys. There seems to be a battle, or is there a battle for backup QB? No, I'm not even going to mess around. I was going to say, could it be a controversy between Dobbs and Brock Purdy? But that's
don't do that.
That's not even funny to mention.
Don't do that.
Yeah, didn't do. Yeah. So for the backup, and we'll start with you, Pete. Who impressed you more, Allen or Dobbs in that game against the Aints?
So I mean, I think in this game specifically, Dobbs, it's undoubtedly he looked really solid. Now, Brandon Allen, I thought looked the better of the two the last game, in the first game. So I think it's pretty even. I think people are going to underestimate how much Kyle Shanahan actually likes Brandon Allen. His grasp of the offense don't underestimate it. And I think that this last game is going to go a long way to deciding who's going to be the true backup. But make no mistake, both of these guys are going to be on the roster. It doesn't matter who's second, third. I think both of these guys, the 49ers, all teams can carry 3 now. So they get an extra one. Plus, I think Tanner Mordecai is going to be
us.
on the yeah, exactly. Like and Tanner Mordecai, I think, is going to be on the practice squad. But he looked like there's something there as well.
Yeah, Allen actually impressed me a little bit too. I mean, they both play good football. I like the way that Dobbs could extend the play with his legs.
Yeah.
So that from that perspective. But Allen, man, he looked pretty good out there. I love the way he got away from that defender and made him look stupid when he went underneath.
Oh yeah, that
him
was crazy.
And that defender just flew. Even the defender was like, "What the heck?" A backup did that to me, and he completed the ball. Now it wasn't that much of a game, but still, they were able to do their thing. Man.
Should have been a sack.
It should have been a sack, and he was able to avoid that. So yeah,
Escape.
and Mordecai has that arm. I hope he makes it to the practice squad, but he'll definitely be a practice squad guy for sure. So Brandon, what were your thoughts on those two quarterbacks. Do you agree with Pete, or do you have your own idea of which one to you looked better?
I think Dobbs looked pretty great this past game, and I agree with you. But though Allen or Pete, whoever the hell it was, Allen looked good in week one of preseason. Um, but I think Dobbs had his best outing yet. We'll see how he does this week against the Raiders, but just the fact that he was able to extend plays, like how you guys were talking about getting out of that almost sack, and getting the first down on top of that too. That seeing that number 5 kind of gets you a little cuckoo, right? Because it's supposed to be Trey Lance doing that
Yeah.
shit when we drafted him.
Yeah.
But no, he looked good,
Who
man.
also had a good game.
Yeah, he did. He did for sure against the Raiders too. On top of that, um, but yeah, I could see Dobbs possibly taking QB2 to be honest, and then Allen QB3. But here's my question to you guys now. Okay, what the hell was Kyle thinking putting Pretty out there without any of his starters?
He wasn't
Well,
thinking. That was a problem.
I think
You're
that
going to
what
defend
happened
him?
with that.
I want to hear
Yeah,
this.
I'm going to defend him
Oh
because
shit!
I don't think that it was a. I don't think that it was a pre-thought out. Oh, well, we're going to put Purdy out there with none of his playmakers and all. No, I think Brock went to. They said that Brock went to him before the earlier in the week. It says I
I
need to
wanted to
go out
play.
there. He just wanted to play, and I need to get out there and get some reps in.
He's
And Kyle's like, okay, but I'm not having anybody out there. So it is what it is. But
he's, he's the
I
head
think
coach
Yeah,
he
but
though.
it's
needs
still
to. I think
Kyle's
Purdy.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, but it's football. Okay, it's football.
He's your starting
We can't.
quarterback.
Okay. So Mahomes was out there.
he
Mahomes
also had
had
his
Kelsey.
starters.
Mahomes had the
Okay,
starting lineup.
so what? This is my issue with that whole mentality is it's football. If Purdy has got to learn how to navigate those situations and not get hit. If he can't do
I don't blame
it
Pretty on
in
that.
preseason, I just think that Purdy a couple of times should have just thrown the ball away. There's no reason to do all that running around and risking your body in preseason.
That's what happens when
He's
you're
got
like
to, but
shit.
he's got to navigate. It wasn't like they were just running free.
And we,
There was a couple of times where he had time to throw the ball or time to get rid of the ball, and he just didn't. He just didn't play well. It's
there's
okay to say that Purdy didn't play well.
Yeah,
there's
he
also
never
times
he don't
where
practice with those receivers. He's
Okay.
playing with second and third.
there's a couple times where he had good passes to Taylor, and Taylor didn't fucking catch any of them.
Yep.
Taylor's not even going to
The,
make the
rec-
team, and if he does, he's going
the
to go to the practice
receivers,
squad.
the receivers were not helping out their quarterback. That's the
They
problem.
were not. They were not. But you can't always. You can't. There was a couple of throws that I saw that he had an open guy on a deep crosser that he didn't see it. He just missed the throw.
Yeah, well,
He
he's
just didn't
running
see. The
for
guy
his
was
life
wide
because
open.
his O-line can't block.
He wasn't running for
I
his
mean,
life on
can't.
that throw. He was not running for his life on that throw. He just missed it. And
What's up, Raj?
I think we just have to be objective. I get it that Purdy is our quarterback, but at the same time, it's okay to say he just didn't do well. He wanted to be out there.
Well, he
And
wanted to get into the
I
time.
don't
He
know.
wanted to feel that his ability to throw and look at the defense and kind of get himself into that mode again, prepared himself for the Jets. So
Exactly.
I understand that point, but when you got Debo and Sweats, you got Kittle and Sweats, and you got all your Christian McCaffrey's not out there. You got nobody out there that is that he's going to be throwing the ball to week one. It's like I understand Brock went up to Kyle and said, Kyle, I don't care what Brock says. You're the head coach. Good thing he didn't get hurt. But what happened if he would, what's the name, look like a freaking Hall of Fame defensive end, the kid that we dropped and went to the Saints. What was his name? Number 99. He was playing.
Clowney?
No.
No, Chase.
Chase Young, yeah, he
Yeah.
Oh
was
yeah,
putting
Chase.
he was putting pressure. Eh, Let's say he would have tripped and he would have fell on him and he would have got hurt. We would have definitely be having a completely different argument in comments
That's a
about him being out there, wouldn't we?
that's another
It,
thing is the Saints had their starters out there as well.
Yep.
I get it. I get it.
Hey, Mary,
Like at the
welcome.
same time, if Purdy's going to take that next step of his development, he's got to learn how to navigate those situations. In my opinion, I don't think that him having 3 drives, he only threw the ball 10 times.
So when you say
Like
navigate, can you clarify? Like navigate what? Playing with backups?
navigate, yeah, playing with when guys go down. When
Okay.
guys go down and you don't,
Just want
and
to make sure we're
everything's not
clear.
perfect, then what does it look like? Like, and what do you do in those situations?
Well, if he
Are you
looks
just
like
going to
that with
stand
no,
there?
How
if
Are
he
you going
looks
to
often
like that
stand
do
there
without
that
and
the
just
happen?
get?
starters, we're in
Are
trouble.
you just going to stand there and get hit, or are you going to get rid of the ball?
But how often are we going to see our whole offensive line and our whole
Who
offense
knows?
all backups?
I'm sure Nick Mullins wasn't planning on playing with the whole backup offense in 2020. Like, I mean, there's things that happen in football. It's football. Like, you got to be prepared for whatever. And like, I just thought they just gave him a small sample size of it. I think it was fine.
So if he would have got
If he,
injured, God forbid, he would have to miss the whole season. You
but he
would be
didn't.
like, "Well, it's
But he
football.
didn't.
I don't like it." No, you're right. Hindsight 2020, he didn't. He's still there. But if would your perspective still be your thought process will still be like,
I didn't.
"Well,
I didn't
I don't
think
like it.
that.
He got hurt, but I understand why he was out there."
I didn't think he needed to be out there for three series. Like, I think that they should have only put him out maybe 2, and like he should have just been pulled after that
Well,
second
they
series because
wanted him to
obviously they
go
weren't.
out on a good note, but he just couldn't do it. And I think that's why they keep putting him out there. Like, okay,
Well, they said that they had planned on getting him. What was it? 10. They said at least 10 throws, and like what? How many did he end up with? He ended up with 11 or
okay.
6. But they said they wanted to get him at least 10 snaps, is what they said. They wanted to get him 10 snaps, and they were planning on if he had had an extended drive that first drive, then he probably wouldn't have come back out on the second drive. But because there was 2 3 and outs, like that's why they put him out there for the third drive. Like, but yeah, I just think that it was just an unfortunate situation. But I don't think that he was. I think he's got to learn how to get down, be smarter about where he's about getting rid of the ball, and yeah, I mean, I think he just had a couple of brain farts. He was trying to do too much.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, um, and you have a valid point. I don't agree with it, but I know your valid point. I don't know. He's your future quarterback. He's the guy's going to make 60 million uh, a year. He's without him, we're not going anywhere in this season. And the fact I understand he wants to go out there and kind of get the feel of it, but when you have Debo and you have Christian McCaffrey and Kittle and all your starters out, particularly Trent Williams is not there, and you're relying on Jalen Moore at his blind side, I'm like, no. I don't care if you have an attitude, Brock. No, you're not going out there.
Hey,
I'm protecting that investment.
Jalen Moore had some good reps against Nick Bosa in practice. Okay, so,
He did.
so
Actually, the
Yeah.
offensive line wasn't that bad in
Here's
this
my
game.
thing.
yeah, I didn't think the offensive line was that bad.
Did they
Like
give up a sack at all on any of the quarterbacks?
I think that
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. But
That's pretty damn
I mean,
good.
I thought the biggest thing was his
What's up,
receivers
Rick?
couldn't get open. His
Yep.
receivers could not get open. Trent Taylor is I mean he needs
not
to
it.
be in an old folks home at this point. Like he looked like it was me out there trying to run routes. And and then who else did they have
Did
out
you
there?
say
But
Trent?
nobody could.
Trent Taylor. I thought you said Trent
Trent
Williams. I'm
Taylor.
like,
Trent
what?
Taylor. Like yeah, he looked terrible.
Yeah, he's not
And
going to make the
nobody and
squad.
like when Purdy tried to throw that out past him, and he couldn't even get past the corner at all. Like it just made the throw look like really bad. But I mean, in the actuality, Trent Taylor was supposed to be he just couldn't run through the cornerback had good position and he couldn't get past the corner. But either way, I just think that his weapons let him down more than anything. But there's going to be times when he doesn't. When Debo is going to miss some time.
Yeah,
He misses games every single season, and I mean even Brandon Ayuk missed a couple of games last year or
everybody
didn't play
does,
in
man.
two.
It's a physical
So
football game.
he's got to get used to when he's got other guys and the timing's off and he's not used to this. Then, I mean, I think it was a good experience for him. You don't want him to get hurt, of course, but at the same time, it's football. He's got to get out there. He's got to navigate those situations. You can't put him in bubble wrap forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I hear you. But at the end of the day, he didn't
Yeah.
get hurt, and he's
Yeah.
not going to play against the Traitors, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, he is.
You think
Yeah,
he'll
he
go?
is.
You think he'll go out?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's playing. Oh, he's
Wow.
playing.
Yeah, the starters are playing this week.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Kyle said.
Really? I haven't watched anything because I've been busy all day today.
Because the starters haven't had any reps in preseason.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They're all starting.
That's why they didn't. That's why none of them played in this last game was because they only had 5 games to prepare for this game. They only had 5 days. Like it was like 5 days until the next game, so they didn't have any of the starters play so that they could play in this one.
Yeah. So Kyle said that the starters are playing, and usually that's how it has been for the past couple of years, where they'll play the final game for a couple reps.
It's a couple reps. Okay, that's this whole thing is kind of crazy because normally the third game is the game where none of your starters play. A lot of your backups play because they're trying to make that 53, or at the very least they're trying to audition for other teams or the practice squad. So we'll see. So okay, but at least
But
if
you know
goes
the
out there, he's
49ers
gonna go out
don't
there
do
with the
anything. 49ers don't do anything that everybody else does.
That is
They
true.
do the exact opposite of everything everybody else does.
Facts.
That is true. That is true.
Okay,
Kyle
right.
is a different beast
right.
within himself.
Here's my question for you guys. What are your guys' thoughts on Kyle letting somebody else call the plays on Sunday?
Wait a minute. Who's the other guy? You got to name the guy.
It's Clay.
Kubiak.
No, I know you.
Oh,
Clay Kubiak.
Clay.
I didn't know it was a test.
Yeah. Just testing him.
The moral of the
Hey,
story
he beat
is
his brother.
Warriors
His
have-
brother was actually the offensive coordinator calling the plays. Well, it's preseason, so there's no really work in it. But at least he beat him in the sense of his brother is actually the Saints coordinator now. And,
Yeah, but what if this becomes a thing?
Clay looked better. I like
what things? No, Kyle already said that he was allowing Clay to do it for the preseason games. He might do it for the Raiders game as well. He will be calling the plays when the season starts for sure.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's preseason. Kyle knows this. You don't have to worry about. There's no really. You don't break film. You're not breaking defense. You're not scheming. You're not doing none of that. So why not allow Clay to see what he can do? At least have an idea that, God forbid, Kyle, something happens to him or he has to miss a game.
Beto, I'm gonna leave and come back. My camera.
I was gonna say I did. I thought you were stroking out.
Actually, that looks better.
All right.
All right. The other way it looked better, bro.
No.
Like this. What's up, David Villa? Welcome to the house, brother. Tanisha's in the house. What's up, Tanisha? How you doing? At the end of the day, I can't wait for week 1. I am a little bit concerned with the left spot where Trent Williams. I don't know, man.
I got an update. I got an update for that.
I got an update on that too.
Okay, wow.
It doesn't mean
I got
much.
water.
It doesn't mean much, but Deshaun Jackson was on FS1 today on.
Say it again. It didn't mean much.
But he said that he talked to Trent and to let us know that we have nothing to worry about, that he's coming back basically this week or some shit.
Yeah.
I think Trent
That
just
was
took this offseason off because he's up there in age and he don't need to be there. And he's just,
exactly.
I'm going to be at home
Yep.
relaxing and I'll be
Exactly.
ready for week one. That's my
Yep.
thing. And the
And they
Niners are
said
already going to pay him anyway.
we had another BA update today.
Yeah,
Yep.
he met with the Niners yesterday, right?
He met
Yes.
with the Niners, and we're in the same position that we were the day before. Like,
Just because I wiped my ass with my
they're
left
still
hand, the right
hammering
is
out
still
the
getting wiped.
detail.
Yeah. Listen,
They're still hammering out the
They're
details.
saying that has to do with the team and not even Ayuk.
well,
It's the
according
it's
for
the
what I've been
team's
hearing, it says
style
that
or
pretty
whatever.
much they agreed on the amount. They agreed on a lot of things. There's certain things they gotta agree on is that extra year. Like if you get
Yeah.
hurt, do you get money? Are you able to be traded with no trade clause? They're trying to iron out that last year. I think Ayuk wants 3 years, and the Niners want 4 out of him if they're going to pay him that amount of money. And then I also heard too that the Steelers offered him less than 28.
Yeah.
They offered him less than 28 million. So the team that offered him the most was the Patriots, which I can't understand why. They're pathetic. They're no good.
They got a ton of money.
Teams overpay a lot.
Yeah, they're bad. When you're a bad team, you've got to overpay.
Yeah.
And that's the nature
That's
of the
just how
beast.
it is.
So
I remember when Kyle first took over and John, and they're like, how much are we paying for Parson or whatever that receiver's name is? How much are we paying for Kyle?
Garcon.
Juice? They were like,
Juice. Like we paid a record amount to a fullback.
but you got to do that when you're a bad team. And people don't realize nobody wants to come to the Niners then. Now you build a legacy. You're in championship games. You're in Super Bowl appearances. Teams want to come. And for those that I hear about taxes, yes, taxes is an issue. People don't want to pay taxes, but that's not the reason why players don't come. It ain't the taxes. Then they ask for more from the Niners so they can cover those taxes.
I have to find out for sure. But from what I I heard that depending on where they play the game, so at the home games they have to play, or when on their game checks, they pay taxes on wherever they play the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they don't play in California, they don't have to pay California tax on that.
So
game
when they
check.
play the Bucks in Florida,
yeah,
they're not going to have to pay
no
tax.
taxes.
There's no taxes in Florida.
So I think the tax thing is overblown. I'll be honest. It's way overblown. Because people keep talking about I can buy so much more in Cleveland. I heard Croc say that, and I love Croc to death. But I mean, who's trying to be in Cleveland? Who's trying to live in Cleveland? Like nobody wanted to deal with snowstorms and like that and all. Ugh.
And when you're young, where do you go for fun?
I mean, to me, it's not even about. There's more opportunity in California, and I get it that there's an off season they can just fly to California, but it's not the same because nobody's trying to endorse. Like you're not going to get endorsements as a Cleveland Browns player like you are on the 49ers. Like it's just not going to happen. So I mean, you can still make your money and all that, but it's a bit. That's part of the business too. Is like where you're located. New York is I mean they pay the most taxes in New York, I think, and that's the most expensive place to live, and ain't nobody not trying to go to New York. There's just a lot of connections to be made.
My boy Rome Owens, what's up, Rome? You look at it. I love what he's putting. He says, "This Niner Boys podcast is brought to you in Gatorade. Is it in you?"
Reach out to your boy Gatorade.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Like you too can be sponsored by the Boys Podcast.
Yes, that's what I couldn't think of the word sponsor, but yeah, he's bringing a sponsorship. Let's go. We need some sponsors here at the Niners Boys Podcast. Let's go. What's Larry Kruger's one? Pig in a pickle. The best barbecue in town. I tried it, bro. I'm sorry. It ain't the best barbecue. And yeah. I love Larry, but yeah, no.
It's like Larry. Overrated.
Oh wow! Hey, I did not
Damn.
say that. Where am I pointing?
I
Damn.
said
Oh
it.
no! Wait a minute.
I said it,
This guy
and
over here.
yeah, if anybody want to come and talk to me about it, they are free to come and let's talk about it.
Yeah, he's a Grand Cone guy.
Yeah, whatever
Pete
he
is.
is.
But anyway, that's funny. But the Niners look good against the game. We're going to see him a little bit more. The fact that Isaac Guerrero, let's talk about a little bit about Isaac Guerrero, the kid that we
practiced.
took, that we moved up to go and get in the fourth round, not in the third, ladies and gentlemen, but in the fourth.
You're not you when you're hungry.
He got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt when he got hurt week one with the hamstring. He hasn't been able to practice. He's finally going to be able to practice this week, hopefully, and he doesn't re-aggravate that hamstring. And it looks like he's going to play
today?
on Sunday or Friday. Excuse me.
Friday.
Does he have to impress? And I'll ask you first, Pete. Does he have to impress this team for him to make the roster, or do you think, regardless of what he does, he has a spot because Kyle picked him?
He's making it regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
agree.
that this is a tryout. Because first of all, he's not. I mean, he's going to get if he does get reps.
Thank you for
he's gonna
subscribing,
get very
brother.
limited. He's going to get very limited reps. He hasn't been able to practice at all. I think today was the first day he got out there. Yeah. I don't see it being. And honestly, the guys in back of him, like I did like Keyshawn Vaughn. I thought he ran really hard. I really liked him. Hopefully they keep him around, maybe on the practice squad. But I know that everybody loves Cody Schrader to death.
Not
But
me.
it hasn't looked good. It has not looked good.
Yeah,
Nope.
he hasn't, and he's not good at the kick returns either.
And I saw a lot of people caping for this dude on Twitter today, and talking about the line play wasn't good. And
Yeah, don't make excuses, bro. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the people.
You can't average 2 yards a carry for the entire preseason and nobody else had as bad of carries as
Matt
bad average as you
Breida,
did.
the older running back, had better play with that same line.
And later in the game.
Later, yes.
Now, granted,
that's actually
our backup line was playing against their starters.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Later in the game, that kind of benefits the young kid because he was playing against starters, not like Breida.
But our third stringers were playing then too. I'm sorry. Cody Schrader came in later in the game in the first preseason game, and he still looked bad.
No,
I'm
not really impressed what he's done.
He just doesn't have the boost. He doesn't have the burst, and he can't hit the hole. Pause. But
that's what she said.
The reality is he just doesn't have the juice. And
there's a reason why he went undrafted.
He has
right?
he has good footwork and he's got good vision, but the hole is closing up before he can get there. And it's not gonna work. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the reason is, it's not working. so it is what it is. But I like the kid. I hope the best for him because obviously he's a hard worker. But in this level,
of course,
you've got to have the athletics. You got to be an athlete, and he just doesn't have it.
But look at the room for running backs. Honestly, even if he was doing better than what he's shown, it's still going to be hard to make this roster. With the running backs because you got McCaffrey, you got Elijah Mitchell, then you got Jordan Mason, then you got Guerrero back there. So and Juice, and so it's really hard to make this team as it is. And if you're not over impressing, it's going to be hard. I don't expect them to make it. Maybe they'll keep on the practice squad.
Maybe practice squad. Yeah.
Practice squad. I can see.
I don't think he's going to make the practice squad. I'm going to be honest with you.
He might get picked up.
I wouldn't argue that with you, Pete. I wouldn't argue
because
I have not been impressed by the kid.
Because this is the thing. Keyshawn Vaughn looked better than he did. Keyshawn Vaughn looked better than him. Matt Breida looked better than him.
Matt Breida looked good, actually.
Matt Breida looked actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
And even though he only averaged 3.5, But like I think the first couple of carries he got where he kind of got stoned, but after that it was I thought it was pretty solid. And then he started to get his legs underneath him. But then when you take to account that Jordan Mason is going to is obviously he's going to make it, and then Elijah Mitchell's going to make it.
Yeah.
Like I mean that's
And
gonna
you
happen.
already said they're not going to cut Garendo. So
Like they're not
unless
going
they
to cut
redshirt him.
Garendo. Yeah, they're just going to redshirt him. But I think Cody Schrader will be around the team, and if somebody gets hurt, then they might bring him up onto the practice squad and elevate somebody else. I could see that happening, but I don't think any team is going to. Who's going to pick him up? Averaging
Because
1.7
what I
yards
heard,
a
if they
carry.
pick him up, they got to automatically put him under 53, right?
Yeah,
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna pick him up to put him under 53.
nobody's going to do that. He's going to be lying there and wait so that if anybody gets hurt,
that's a good point.
So he'll be around. He's going to be around. He'll get another shot. Maybe he gets the treatment of remember Jeff Wilson couldn't get on the field.
Yeah,
couldn't get elevated.
Yeah.
He was on the practice squad forever, and and then all of a sudden we couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
and then he goes to Miami and looks better over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he
can stay
looked
over
good
there.
for the 49ers. He looked solid for the 49ers. He
Well,
just
yeah.
wasn't great. And he looked exactly the same for Miami. He was
Yeah.
just mid.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's get off the running back. Let's get a little bit more
My
of
bad.
a positive note. Let's talk about our secondary, our corner
I think
rookie.
our secondary is better this year.
Renardo Green and Malak, whatever his first name is, Mustafa.
Malik Mustafa.
Malik. Well, they didn't say it's Malik. This is Malik.
It's
Malik
Malik.
Mustafa.
It's Malik.
Yes, Malik Mustafa. Those two guys have been very impressive to me in what they're doing. I love that coverage by Renardo Green where the ball wasn't catchable, and then that hit by Mustafa. I am very impressed. I'll start with you, Brandon. You talk about Mustafa, and I'll let Pete talk about Green so we can get perspective from both sides. But what were your thoughts so far on this safety? And then also, he was wearing 42 before the game in respect to Ronnie Lott. I thought that was cool.
He bought a Ronnie Lott jersey in black.
Yeah, I like that.
Represent him. He actually got it I think after he got drafted, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, going back to the game on Sunday, the guy looked freaking great. He definitely surprised me. He had some great plays, especially that stuff in the backfield that he was able. I think it was on the fourth down, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, was it fourth down when he stopped?
That was the first
running
game.
back?
That was the first
against
game.
the Titans, but
Oh, was it?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
But he was still impressive against the Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was. The coverage was great.
He had a couple of breakups.
Yeah, he did. So I'm excited for our secondary, bro. Like, I think our secondary is way better this year than last year.
And Jair Brown is only getting better. That kid was on fire.
Yes.
I love Jair Brown, and I love his take about his maturity, I should say.
Yeah.
On speaking about the two guys that we just mentioned. It's just amazing how John Lynch zeroes in on those safeties and brings in, man, not only great players but great personnel in the locker room.
Right, Jet.
If you're already done, Brandon, I can shoot over to Pete.
What
If
up,
not,
Bridget?
then regarding no, you have anything more to say about Mustafa?
No, but just be on the lookout. Kyle did mention
What's up, Kenny?
that Hafunga could be ready by week 1. So
Yeah.
just putting that
Yeah,
out
he was
there.
supposed to practice with this game before the Saints, but as
They're
long
not
as he's
gonna let
ready
him
by
practice
week
at all.
1, and I think right now with Jair, listen, George Odom hasn't looked bad. Do I want to go with that guy for the long run? No. But if I have to start him at week 1 against the Jets, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, and give. I just don't want the Niners to rush Huff back faster than he needs to be because they want to get him out there and then jeopardize of a back set on him. So hopefully they do it right. It looks like they will. Red Jet's in the house. How you doing, girl? Welcome to the channel. Pete, what's your thoughts? I saw that, Brandon. What's your thoughts on Renardo Green from
So
Florida State Seminoles, baby?
yeah, man, got me all fucked up like the so Renardo Green looked really good. Okay, like I thought he looked really good, especially for a rookie. He's going against Chris Olave, like who's supposed to be
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
better wide receivers in the league. Like,
Yes, sir.
so it like I thought he looked really good, and there was a couple of times where he wasn't right on his hip. It wasn't like he had lockdown coverage on him. But for a rookie to even be getting pass breakups on him, I felt like he was physical with him, even when he wasn't necessarily like hip to hip on the guy. He made up that he knew enough to just play through the hands. And big up to Croc for mentioning that on Locked On this morning. I really like that. Even if you can't make a pass, like intercept the pass, you can still break up the pass by just working through the hands, even if you feel like you're out of control a little bit. So I really like that. I want to kind of speak on the vibe of the whole defense and how the vibe of the defense looked like it changed. Like, did either one of you see a difference in that they D'Amico style, like a D'Amico style defense that they were playing? There was a lot of just asking the defensive linemen to penetrate upfield and letting the linebacker. That's why the linebackers looked so good. But Jalen Graham looked like a monster out there. And Curtis Robinson also looked good. I felt like that's why they got a chance to look good, was because that was the whole thing of that. They're getting the defensive linemen to penetrate and then letting everybody else kind of clean up the mess. And I thought it was phenomenal. But Renardo Green looked really good. I thought Malik Mustafa, I thought he was good. I think he still has some things to learn in coverage, and he takes some bad angles sometimes. But I do think he looked good especially for a rookie. And but he's going to need time, just like Hufanga wasn't perfect his rookie season either. So like it's just going to take more reps, get him more. But I think he has a great feel for the game, and I love the mentality of the young guys.
Yeah. I like the fact that he's been playing outside and he can play inside. It's going to be interesting to see what decision they do with him. If he does get playing time this year, will he start outside? Will they bring him in kind of between him and Lenore in the inside? Because I do like Isaac Yedem. I think he's great on the outside. He's been doing good. I know that Thomas got hurt and he's going to miss some time, but let's be honest. Are we really missing him? I know it sounds crazy and rude, but who's really missing Thomas, right? The fact that he got hurt, and it sucks to get hurt. I don't wish nobody getting hurt, but it gives the other guys some time to play and work out. Luter looked good Sunday against the Saints. Okay,
He was wishy-washy.
Yeah, I mean he's more.
They were picking on him.
Were they?
Yeah, they were picking on him at the end, and like honestly, I know that he got credit for the pass breakup at the end of the game, but he was burnt. He was burnt toast. The guy it was just a bad throw.
Yeah, I was kind of doing some things as I was watching the game. So I was, it's preseason, especially in the fourth quarter. I'm not really like zoned in, but okay. Well, I mean, Rock Your Sin, Isaac Yedem, I like those. We already know we have in Ward and we have in Lenore, and then the rookie looks pretty good. We're pretty good in depth wise in the secondary.
I think we are.
I love it. We didn't get to see Leonard Floyd still, and I don't think we're gonna see him. Like you said, the starters play on Friday, so maybe we'll get his debut as a 49er. I want to see Malik Collins hasn't played at all being brought in as a free agent. So maybe we get to see him a little bit. We did get to see um, Elliott in there a little bit. We saw who else was on there in the middle doing a little bit. I like what we saw a little bit in the defense. Um, are you concerned a little bit on the depth that we have at the defensive line when it comes to edge rushers? Because who do we really have that you can really count on? We have Nick Bosa. Um, I just mentioned him now. Leonard Floyd, and then
Yeah,
Matos,
Leonard
right?
Floyd.
The 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
But
Gross
after
Matos.
Matos, who's really stepping up? Drake Jackson's out because it's in.
You got Robert Beal.
But he's
You
kind
got
of been
Robert
kind of
Beal.
up and down. He's not someone that I can sit there and go, "Wow, this guy stepped up from
Well,
year one."
how many teams have waves of guys like coming off the bench? Like that's not going to be. I don't think that they can be expected to have like
True, but
tons of guys.
we have been spoiled in that area. So from coming from that, it's not enough. But I hear you.
Yeah, but I think that I'll say this: I think that Shaquille Brown has looked good. He can play. He mostly plays inside, but he's kind of a smaller defensive tackle. T.Y. McGill actually looked good. He had a strip sack, I believe. Like it was a strip sack or a.
What about that kid Anderson? I haven't paid attention. to
Evan
him.
Anderson. But he's just a run guy, run stuffing.
Oh, he's
type
more
of guy.
okay, a plug guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's not doesn't have any kind of pass rush moves
So he'll
whatsoever.
if he gets brought in, he'll in run game. Okay.
But then you got Kevin Givens, Alex Barrett didn't look bad on the outside. I thought that he looked solid as like a big end.
Okay.
Kevin Givens is always solid in the middle. I think that they have plenty of depth on the inside.
Yeah.
I do think that they're probably going to bring in probably another defensive end. Like I think look for them during the
cut downs.
Maybe the cut down, but I think more if they don't get enough pressure early on, I think
to bring in a free agent,
the trade deadline,
the trade deadline,
yeah, and bringing somebody in. But yeah, the cut down time, they might find another vet to bring in. That wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think Robert Beal has looked that bad. And
but would you be comfortable going into the season as him being your fourth pass rusher? Honestly, if we can...
your fourth pass rusher? I mean, okay. I don't have a problem with it. I think that most of the time it's going to be Bosa and what's his name?
Leonard Floyd, and then they'll bring in Matos in there in relief of Floyd or Bosa.
I think that they're going to keep Malik Collins and
Hargrave.
And Hargrave in there on passing downs.
Oh yeah,
because both of them are pass rushers.
Yes.
So I don't see a reason to even take Malik Collins.
Hargrave's actually a better pass rusher than a run stopper.
Yeah, for sure. That's absolutely for sure. And but yeah, I think that they've got some pieces. I think that we're going to probably see them pick up a couple of more pieces like when it gets closer. And but yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I know people are worried about the depth, but they have 3 bona fide pass rushers. In my opinion, on this team, and most teams don't have that. Most teams are struggling to get 2. So it's some teams don't even have 1. So I think
Atlanta,
that it's mostly
Atlanta had nothing until they traded for Judon.
Yeah, Judon. And what I'm really looking for is for Bosa to get back to form and to wreck the game so much that it creates opportunities for all the other guys, and that's what we need to happen.
Well, he's been doing the whole offseason from the day one. He's definitely going to come in shape. I mean, he's not a contract year. This guy's going to be dominating. He's going to get back to that form of what we're used to and accustomed to seeing from Bosa. And let's be honest, now that he has someone like Leonard Floyd that can complement him, where they might double Floyd, that might open up for Bosa in
No,
certain cases,
they not.
which I
They
still
not
think Bosa will
double.
get doubled no matter what. But
Come on,
when you have someone
come
like
on,
Floyd,
come on, Beto. They not doing double. Floyd is a what's it called?
no, they won't double
Uh,
him.
they've got he's a what do they call it? An effort. He's an effort sack guy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's not even like a real speed rusher. He just kind of like he ends up getting sacks because things get
Because
flushed
of
his way.
Bosa or players
Yeah,
like Bosa or Aaron
yeah.
Donald when he was with the Rams and so forth. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. A lot of people try to compare Leonard Floyd to what's the name that we got from Kansas City that didn't work out. I think Fred, what was his name? Anyway, I think he was a better pass rusher than Floyd in the sense of pure pass rusher.
Oh
He
yeah,
just
no,
he
that
was
guy
just
was a
hurt.
monster. If he could have stayed healthy, I know he. God,
I
what
can't
is
think of his
his?
name, but
It's
you know
right
who
in
I'm
front of
talking
my
about.
face.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He
Where
just
is it?
couldn't
I got it right
stay
in front of me.
healthy
D
for us.
Ford.
D Ford, yeah.
Yeah, like D Ford, like he just couldn't stay healthy. But when he was on the field, our pass rush was unstoppable. Like there was nothing that you could do. Like you had literally 2 seconds to get rid of the ball, and if you didn't get rid of the ball, that was a
That was
sack.
fun to watch, wasn't it?
Oh my god! Like
Especially against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers.
it was amazing because the problem was is that no team was doing that.
No.
Because not only did you have those two, Bosa and him screaming off the edge, you had
You had
DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead in the middle,
yes, the two towers
pushing
in
the
the
pocket.
middle.
There's never I don't think there's ever going to be a defensive line that we're going to see a defensive line put together like that again.
Like the one we had in
Uh,
2019, bro.
yeah, no, I don't think that that's even possible.
Yeah, I'm with you. That front four was incredible
Yeah,
to watch, man. I like to watch a lot of tape on 2019 because watching those four guys, when D Ford was in, was fun. It's fun to watch. Real quick,
yeah, it
moving
was
on. That we're getting
great.
closer to the hour. Let's move on to the linebacker Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
He had a little bit, but he looked impressive. I'm not saying he's gonna, a Greenlaw is the guy, but do you, for what you've seen from Campbell in this game, do you feel like comfortable that he might be able to handle his own for a couple of weeks while Greenlaw comes back?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been solid. Like I don't think he's been bad. I think that it's benefiting him like I said earlier, for this for a return to this type of scheme,
Yeah.
and us getting away from that Wilkes scheme. I don't want to say too much bad about Wilkes
No,
because
I got you.
the numbers are the numbers, but but at the same time, I like this scheme for this team better. And
It
it's
works.
going
Yeah.
our linebackers. It takes advantage of our linebackers' athleticism and them being able to go sideline to sideline, and they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be everywhere, and I think Devondre Campbell is another. He's still got some juice left in him, but I think that it gave a chance for Jalen Graham to look really good
Yeah, he looked
yesterday,
good too. We'll talk
and
about him in a
Tatum
minute.
Bethune.
Yeah,
Tatum
hey,
Bethune
we're
looked
going to
good.
talk about him as well. He's been
Yeah, like I
impressive.
mean,
He
they've
leads the
got
team
they've
in
got
tackles.
linebackers.
Yeah, and you
I
forgot D. Winters, who didn't play because they kept him
Yeah,
as he's like
he
a
had a bruised
starter.
knee.
Oh, Bruce Lee. Okay,
Bruised knee.
I didn't know that. Okay, so they kept him up because of injury. Got it. He looks
Yeah, they
good
kept him
too.
out because he had a bruised knee. He had a bruised knee in the practice right before the game.
Even Robinson looked good.
Yeah, no, I want to speak on Robinson because Robinson looked really solid, and he is a bona fide backup to Fred. I feel.
I agree.
Um, I think he has actual leadership capabilities, and what I saw on the field translated to the press conference that he had today. And I really enjoyed the press conference and him talking
I
about
haven't seen it,
his
so I'm gonna
what
watch
he
it.
had to do to get on this team and make sure that he wanted to stay here for a reason. He probably could have gone somewhere else for an
Oh, he
opportunity,
said that.
but yeah, he said no, I'm here because you understand once you're in the building, and he just likes being around this team. And you hear that a lot from the 49er players. is the culture. And I talk about the culture all the time, but I really enjoyed the press conference. If anybody has a chance to go look at that press conference, it was
I've been busy all day, but I'm definitely going to watch it after the show.
It was really like just a good, you could just see it's a typical 49er guy, like just good guy, just a really good guy.
I can tell you really like
real
him.
good
I
perspective.
I love it.
Yeah,
I like it. So
Poonie looks like a thug. I'll be honest.
Oh, he spoke today too.
Poonie looks like look. I mean, he's in there in his hoodie, and yeah, you just got to see the. You'll see what I'm talking about when you.
He's never played right guard before. He came to the Niners, and he looks like he's been playing for years there, dominating.
I think he's an athlete. He's an athlete, and he's got grown. And for a kid, he's got grown man strength.
He's going to make McKivitz better, right?
He already has.
Yeah.
And McKivitz still looked bad.
He let go of
somehow McKivitz still looked bad.
And he turned around to help up McKivitz. I forgot. Somebody showed it. I forgot who it was. Some content creator, Niner content creator, showed the part where Poonie was done with his guy, and he saw that there was going to be pressure on McKivitz, and he turned around and assisted McKivitz, but defending Brock when Brock was in there. And I thought that was key, man. I'm like, look at this kid. He not only he's reading everything, so I am hyped with him as well. I'm hyped with him. I think he's good. I'm sorry. What's the name that got hurt with his arm? I think he'll be a good backup, Spencer Burford, which is good to have in depth anyway. And then Feliciano again. I think he might be in the IR for the first 6 games or 4 games now. I guess IR is 4 games now. But I'm comfortable with going with Dominic Poonie week 1. Do you feel comfortable with starting him at week 1 with the starters?
I'm all about it. I'm all about it at this point because this is the thing. He's shown the flashes. And for a young guy, and the 49ers don't usually do that.
No.
49ers don't usually do that. They don't
Not with the rookies.
Let guys develop and play their way through some of the rookie slumps and that kind of stuff. But I think it's really important because I think that he's proven that he's your best option. He's your it doesn't matter if he's a rookie. He's your best option. So get over your stuff, Kyle. And I think he's one of those rare guys that you have your Hufanga that got on the field as a rookie. You've got Debo that made it on the field. That was out of necessity, but but he made it on the field as a rookie. There's certain rookies that have made it on the field with Kyle, but they have to show up and show out for that to happen. And I think Poonie's done that.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to see this kid, continue to grow and continue to get better in his craft. So as we close out the show, Pete, I want to ask you, in your opinion, do you feel that this might be the best draft class in the Shanahan and John Lynch era?
I don't. It could be. It could be. I think that we won't know for another couple of years.
Correct.
Correct. But the year that they got Debo.
Well, they got Debo and Bosa in the same year, so that's a good draft.
Yeah, Debo and Bosa, and they got. I think they got what's his name the same year too. Greenlaw was in that same draft too.
I think he was the year after, but I could be mistaken.
Because he was there in 2019. I think they drafted them all in 2019.
Was he a rookie? Sure.
Yeah, he was a rookie.
He was a rookie
because he came in as a safety, and then they made him a linebacker.
Which I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure. So if anybody in the comments knows whether
I'm gonna look it up,
Greenlaw or not was a rookie in 2019, I think you're right. I think because he played in the Super Bowl.
No, that year they got Nick Bosa, then Debo, then Jalen Hurd.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about. Oh my God, that dude.
Yeah. Then they got the punter Wisnowski.
Yes.
In the 4th round, Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round.
Okay, so it was that year. Okay.
and then the rest of it was garbage. It was Caden Smith, uh, Justin School, which Justin School started games, so I don't know if that was a
No, he was
necessarily
a good
a
pick.
bad pick. And then not in the 6th round. They got him in the 6th round, and then Tim Harris, who was nothing.
Everybody says that the 2017 was a bad draft. I said, listen, you're probably right, but the fact that we got Kittle in the 5th round made it a good draft. Kittles was saved that draft.
2017.
Was it 17 or 18? I think it was 17 that we got Kittle. Kittle's been up there already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Oh yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad because they got starters in that draft class.
Because that's
they took Solomon Thomas.
Solomon Thomas was terrible.
He wasn't terrible. He just wasn't. He wasn't good.
He wasn't
good as they want. He was a versatile piece that didn't really have a home.
No,
but he was solid. Once they moved him to make him a backup, like interior guy, he was good as a backup interior guy.
And
but he wasn't worth the 3rd overall pick.
Was a mistake.
If they had gotten him in the 3rd or 4th round, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But it was because they got him in the first round.
It was a lot of pressure because they got him 3rd overall. That was a high.
But then they got Reuben Foster. That was the year they got Reuben Foster, and who wasn't a bad player. He just was a head case.
No, he just had bad issues, off the field issues, I should say.
And Akello Witherspoon was a 3rd rounder, which he wasn't a terrible player.
I like to call him Akulo.
Like he was a starter. Then they got C.J. Beathard in the 3rd round. Joe Williams, and then they got George Kittle,
Williams,
Trent Taylor, DJ Jones was in that draft.
I love DJ Jones. That he might get cut.
Toma Panu, who I've never seen play.
He might get cut by the Broncos because of financial. Do you think the Niners should make a dip and get in him back?
I hope so. That'd be awesome, but I don't think they will.
Okay.
Because look at it, unless somebody gets hurt, like if Hargrave or Malik Collins get hurt, I could see it then. But otherwise, I don't see them bringing for what they need. They need defensive end depth more than they need.
No, they got enough D tackles. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, they needed D tackles more than they need.
Adrian Culver was in that draft too. That wasn't a terrible draft. It wasn't that bad of a draft.
2019 wasn't that. 2017.
2022 was bad. That was a bad draft. What was it? 20.
I got his jersey, DJ Jones, and when I bought his jersey, he wasn't even a starter. He was still a backup. Yeah. That's how much I like this kid. And I know he got his money, Rubzilla. I know he had to go and get paid, but that was a guy that I hated seeing leave because he was such a good run stopper.
Listen to this draft. That people talk about 2017, 2022. Drake Jackson, TDP, Danny Gray, Spencer Burford, Samuel Womack, Nick Zakel, Kalia Davis, Tariq Castro Fields, and then Brock Purdy. And that's it. So Brock Purdy saved that whole draft.
Yeah, I was about to say, just with him, yeah. Zakel looks like he might be a good deal now.
Who?
Zakel. You just mentioned him how he looks better.
Yeah, I mean, that was, in his 3rd season. Third season. He might finally be a good enough to be a backup.
Serviceable. I got you. But like you said, Brock Purdy saved that draft. Without Brock Purdy, if Brock Purdy wouldn't have been who he is today, that would have been a trash draft.
That would have been the worst draft class. It still, to me, is the worst draft class, I think, in the Shanahan era. It's still the worst draft class.
Yep.
2017 wasn't that bad.
Real quick, bro. We hit that hour mark. Try to keep it an hour. Yeah. Try to keep it respectful for you because you're in a different time zone than I am. Real quick, what do you got going on your on your channel, brother. You have anything going on? Share with all the viewers now. What do you got going on this week? And what are you doing on your channel, my friend?
Yeah, so Niner Fanatic Podcast. I'll be on Thursday. Might have somebody on with me, may not. But either way, we're gonna be talking,
Like
getting
the
you
way
ready.
said that.
Gonna be getting you ready for
maybe
for
not.
the game for the with the Raiders on Friday. So make sure you tune in for that. We're gonna be talking about the same. Hopefully we'll have some big signing news to talk about, and we'll probably be talking more, getting more in depth with the final roster cuts, and then we've got and then that Friday after the game, I'll probably do an instant reaction show right after. So make sure that you check out the channel. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, about to be on Kick. Anywhere where you can get your audio podcast, and it doesn't matter where you get it, just get it. But yeah, just check out the channel.
He is
Make sure you give
everywhere.
it a subscribe. Make sure you give both Brandon and Niner Sickness a follow and a subscribe to both channels, and hit the bell so you get the notifications for when we go live.
Let's go. As for myself, every Tuesday, unless something comes up, me and the boys are here at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Myself, Brandon, and Pete. And then on Thursdays, we haven't started it yet. We've been off for the off season, but myself and Jess from East Coast Red and Gold are getting back together with the Niners Now podcast, and we're going to start. We're working on creating an intro. I'm trying to make an intro for our show, and then we're going to start our show. So keep that. That's on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Sundays, I go on solo on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I go by myself. I call that Niners After Dark. So make sure to tune in on those 3 days on Niners Techniques Podcast. And then if something happens, if something interesting like Brandon finally signs the paper, then I'll go off online and just go on and talk about that or so forth. But we got the Niners Boys podcast on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got the Niners Now podcast at Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we got Niners After Dark every Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Well, Pete, it's always been a pleasure of hanging out with you and Brandon,
Yes,
and then
sir.
hanging out with everybody in the chat. I say this, and I say it all the time. A hand of applause for every one of you in the chat. You guys are the true MVP. Without you guys, we are nothing. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to follow us. If you happen to be following me and Brandon, but not Pete, follow Pete, and so on. Everybody's channel and their mamas are in the description below. Feel free just to click on it and move on and follow each and every one of us. And what's up, Chris Hansen's in the house. He says, when is the duck race? I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to be bringing that up once the season starts. And I'm going to try to figure a way how to make it even more funner to watch. So stay tuned for that, Chris. But thank you for bringing it up. A lot of people love the duck race, and I love doing it. Until then, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Be safe. Go Niners. And until next time,
Go Niners.
we're out of here. Peace.
Hello.